itself is a good type of play style of a hyper aggressive player. Now to follow through though is gonna be Ari from MIRMOOOO Esports to go into the mid lane to try and match it up against Galio. So this might be an interesting take here with Vayne now going in. Potential hover here for the United Esports. But you know what? It's just a bait. We're going for Corki instead.
It's a prank. They want to get Corky. But yeah, the Corky and Gaio combination is stronger, but not as strong as the Power of Love by Saya and Rakan, which will go over to MIRMOOOO Esports. Okay, so I love the Dragon Lane matchup. The two that is going to be a last pick Riven for Leonites, just to make sure that whenever Camille will hook shot or tactical sweep her way in, no, you're gonna get stunned. And the Broken Wings is also a very powerful combo just to make sure that you can finish off the kill.
Yeah, I do agree. And I think right now, there's no clear cut on who can take this one, but we can talk about the pros and cons of this certain compositions. Right now, we can start with MIRMOOOO Esports. What do you think, Tuko?
Okay, honestly, you said there's no clear cut, right, with the drafts. If we are gonna look at the draft, I'm honestly gonna give it already to Leonites. But if MIRMOOOO Esports will be able to execute this, again, the Sire Recon combo is a ticking time bomb. And once it explodes to your opponent, there's no turning back. Again, that's why it's a
Yeah.
bomb. But yeah, they just need to protect MIRMOOOO and as well as let Ari scale Kha'Zix. He needs to be very proactive in the early game, which is good because usually in the early game, Olaf is nowhere to be found. In the earlier parts of the laning phase, he will just lurk into the map, try and give vision to his team, but not actually commit.
Now, you changed my mind a little bit, but not completely exactly, because we've seen in game one how Wura played the Rakan. And it's very, very great with the quickness and also the grand entrance in synergy with the jungle. And XDXP going for the Kha'Zix. I think this will be a great synergy for MIRMOOOO Esports. So it's now up to them on what they want to do. It's MIRMOOOO Esports up against the United Esports for the very last game for the series of a best of three. As now, it's a standstill.
Still a standstill indeed. Well, again, it's barely a minute in. Cutting off a snap, but you know what? That is going to be MIRMOOOO and Rakan and Wura being very aggressive with the Dragon Lane, but no actual commitments just yet. They're barely in their level 3s. At the very least, Saya can just root Corky, maybe even Lulu, and then Rakan can jump in. That's a possible combo that's in my mind right now.
Yeah, it's a question in my mind as well. So I think it's really just gonna be difficult, but I think what MIRMOOOO Esports can do actually is to punish Andy69 this early game, because then Olaf is not really that great at level 3, at level 4. If you punish him at that specific level, especially with having a Camille in top side of the map and also having the Kha'Zix, can actually impact how Olaf wants to do this. But you have Leonites Esports though going very, very aggressive. With the ward there, Yauhan has information that Olaf is just hovering around.
See, I told you, whenever Yauhan is gonna jump in, he will just get eaten by the stuns, but here comes Ari.
Oh, the charm with a flash coming in. Actually connected down to Andy69. Will not get a kill down. No follow-up. Jash will be low at HP, but they just push them back away, then go for the wrist cutler.
And I think that was a win for MIRMOOOO Esports. The fact that they will be able to push the Dragon Laner back under 2 minutes in. And the fact that even if Leonites will try to force that fight, it's not going to be in their favor because adaptive defense is procced at the right time, which gives Camille the shield that she needs to be able to sustain herself. And it's just a trade that Leonites do not want to risk on.
Did you see Andy69?
I did.
It was
yes.
just going for like a model walk into the wrist cutter, goes for the smite, went back away. He went in for like a model show in that riverbed, going for the steal there onto the wrist cutter, which was just a tad bit amazing coming in. But right now, it's an even trade when it comes to the wrist cutter. So MIRMOOOO Esports has that information into topside river, and Leonites Esports has the bottom side river, which I think Leonites Esports can utilize much more, because this can like remove the information game from MIRMOOOO Esports into the bottom side of the map. And I think that is what Leonites Esports wants, especially when you're fighting against a Syra Khan, which is very, very dominant as a dual laner, up against a Lulu and a Corki in this early game.
He burst will connect on to Yao Han, but no actual commitments just yet. Camille would just want to wait for the other members from MIRMOOOO to jump into the Baron lane. He does have Hextech Ultimatum though, but again, Blade of the Exile can hurt a lot, and he would not want to have that risk. Galio will place into the mid lane, but the charm is not going to come through. Galio can be very, very tanky as well. So I don't think Emperor will have the best time of his life under like 4 or 5 minutes.
Yeah. So 20 seconds remaining. Rift Herald and Cloud Dragon will come up once again. A potential source for a team clash for these two teams, as currently there is no first blood in this game. And Kha'Zix is just hovering into the mid lane, a potential gank into Sean. And you have Olaf went in for the recall to then go for the right quadrant onto the jungle. But here onto the top side is a different story. You have Jash, just went for the face check, went back away to safety.
Just one leap from XTXP was enough to push Josh back to show how well farmed Kha'Zix is. But now that is the first trick in the hands of Leonites. You have Mirmo into the side, but I don't think he is gonna go in with the commit. And I like how Mirmo Esports is prioritizing their Herald this time around. They learned from their mistake in game number 2.
Yeah, and I echo your thoughts because Leonites Esports went for the Cloud Dragon. Now Murma Esports went for the Rift Herald, which is something that they did not do in game number 2. So they solved that mistake, and now they're still at a gold lead because Rift Herald gives you immediate 300 gold, and on top of all that, it gives you a little bit of an extra pressure here for later on. As Tower First Blood is also available for anyone in this game. So I think that is something that Murmur Esports can take down. They could produce it into the mid lane to be able to get that map control, but a little bit more risky to place down or top lane or bot lane to get that Tower's First Blood as an immediate boost when it comes to the gold accumulation.
Roa is now being picked up by Galio, just show that he has a bit of a more damage in there. But looking to the Dragon side, you have the Poke duo, Lulu and of course Corky being able to just keep Yaohan at the side.
Ultimatum for a 1. Now the charm will follow through. Lulu will go for the one throw down to Corky. Corky will go for the flash. That's the first blood from Murmur Esports. Now Olaf goes for the flash as well. Tries to engage with the Ragnarok, but he does not have enough damage to bring down one more to go for the trade. Heroes entrance will now be forced as well into the bot lane. Now the flash, the taunt will connect. That will put down Emperor, melts his HP. That will be the 1-for-1 even trade, but Leonites Esports will gain one more out of that, putting down XDXP.
But it looks like Mimmer Esports will be able to get the trade into the Brown lane third here. Rowan will try to defend as much as he can, but at the very least, they were able to put some damage in the Brown lane turret. Looking back into the fight at the Dragon lane side, it was just Mirmo trying to make something work, and the fact that Emperor jumped in, was able to connect the charm, but they forgot there is still an Olaf lurking to the side. Even though Emperor flashes out, you have a Olaf yelling Demasha, and he does flash in, not being able to get much kills though, but at the very least they were able to get some gold in because they got one third down. Scuttler is already up, and you have XDXP being able to get that more gold, more XP going over to his side. And again, that Jash is still looking for the next possible target, hook that onto the wall, but both teams again going back to what's stable for them.
Yeah, and as you stated a while ago, this is an interesting case. I think Murmur Esports was not able really to utilize their Herald to a maximum because yes, they got Tower First Blood, but Leonite Esports was able to take one more down. Now Murmur Esports though is now going for the gang into the bottom lane, go for the grand entrance with a quickness down. That's gonna be Charm in. Hexic Ultimate will follow through. Galio will fall. Now it's Corky going for the Valkyrie, tries to get the reach down onto the distance game. And there will be another one that will fall down. Wura to follow through. That's gonna be a double kill for Anti-69. And Leonite Esports is wreaking havoc into the bot lane.
What did I tell you? This draft is gonna work wonders. The only problem I had with Mirmo Esports in that fight was, never mind, Undertow.
Ooh, Emperor goes for the Twin Shadows, goes down. Yondu, but you have the Ribbon though coming into fray, goes for the knockup. Charm will connect, but that will not be enough because the Olaf will bring one more down. The Knights will take the lead.
Keepers being able to burst Ari down. That is going to be another win going over to Leonites. As I was saying, Mirmo Esports, they committed 2 ultimates onto Sean, onto a very tanky champion, which just gave the other members of Leonites time to re-engage, to be able to go where their teammate is. And that's why they were able to beat the clean cleanup crew in that small fight. Red Dragon is going to be up in 12 more seconds. Both teams would want to get their hands on this juicy objective. Mirmo Esports, just a few face checks here and there. Ultimates are available except for the Blade of the Exile, but now this is a Mountain Drake, which honestly, Mirmo Esports should be able to get.
It's a tad bit too late for Mirmo Esports as Leonites Esports will now go for the start onto the Mountain Dragon. You have Yaohan going to full for the contest, even hovering into the silence. Now it's going to go for the engager. Olaf coming in. Heroes Edris go for the knockup as well. That's going to put down Murmo. And now Leonites is just following through. Yaohan will fall. Wara will fall. And that will be the triple kill for Leonites Esports as they baited Murmo Esports. As now they're going for the 3-4-0 trade once again.
Andy 6'9" was at the front line and Wild Growth was up. That was already a red flag for Mirmo Esports, but apparently they still did not jump away. With the knockups connecting and the other layer of C's being sent out, the Unites, they pretty much secured that fight, that win in that skirmish. It was a nail on the coffin for Mirmo Esports. And now Leonites, the team in the red side, they're the ones comfortably roaming around the map, was able to get 3 turrets and 2 dragons.
Now, yeah, the True Dragons is really, really massive. Let's talk about the information game. And top of all that, Mirmo Esports has gotten the third into the mid lane. So pretty much when you're talking about information, you have a warp for Leonites Esports into bot side river, top side river onto the Baron's pit, and also one into the left side quadrant onto the jungle. So that's really massive when it comes to information. Now, though, Mirmo Esports just wreaked havoc. It's a 5v1. And Leonites has lost another member. Now, Baron Nashor will be alive as XDXP hovers top lane.
Well, most members from Leonites is down at Dragon Lane. You only have Corky the Baron lane.
Oh, Grand entrance with a quickness down. Goes for the CC chain. Sean tries to go to con, will actually do connect, but will not go through. Ragnarok with a flash in. That's going to do Wild Growth. Go for the knockup as well. Heroes entrance zoning away the enemy team as the Camille will go back as he can't handle the damage output from the Olaf. That's going to be the double kill. 2 for 2.
That was a good win for Saya, but the problem is how will you be able to answer Andy 6'9" on this Olaf at the mid lane though? Flash in.
He jumps in, the charm will connect, but Rowan's damage is just too much. Raw damage, double kill for Rowan. And now it's Josh, 1v1 against a Camille. They back away.
Row 1 with the row damage, but looks like that is gonna be Josh holding this round in the mid lane, but I don't think Mirmo Esports is gonna commit. So I like how Leonites was able to just separate or time these different fights. The moment Olaf won, if I may say, that fight into Dragon Lane, it was the go signal for them at the mid lane. Let's try to take someone off again. Why not try this Ari? And now that Barrett is up, they will have first dibs, but of course Mirmo Esports will still try to contest. Charm, quickness is still available.
Yeah, Twin Shadows gives information from Mirmo Esports that Pixie though delays the quickness coming in from Rakan, and Leonites Esports will get the Baron Nashor as he now try to go for the counter engage. Mirmo Esports will scour away into enemy territory as now Olaf just jumping in, gets the kill down. Kha'Zix will fall, Mirmo will fall, Wara will fall. It's the only one remaining Emperor alive for Mirmo Esports to defend the base, but Leonites is all alive and now they're going for a push.
That is gonna be a 4-0 in favor of Leonites, plus a Baron buff to beat. Now they were able to take out all of the outer tiers in the mid lane. Looks like Leonites, they were able to pull off the draft perfectly. And I said this earlier, when it comes to the draft, I kind of favor Leonites. And on top of that, they were able to check their win conditions. Mirmo, their insurance is the late game. Problem is, will it even reach that point? Because again, they do not have answer for Andy 6'9" just yet. They could try and pick Olaf off, but when is that possible? Most of the time, Olaf is with Corky, is with Lulu. 2v1 though.
Oh, yeah, but how to take note, Riven currently is just so tanky. So it's not going to go through, but now the charm will connect into row 1. Stacy's Enchant will be there. That's going to be special delivery. Hexic Ultimatum will fly throughout the air, but Valkyrie having Drew for Corky will just remove down Mirmo Esports into heaven as now it's the Knights Esports dominating the game, and Mirmo needs to think on what they want to do because currently it's just so dominant for the Knights Esports as they take one more out of that.
Man, Inferno Drake is gonna be up in 2 seconds, but I don't think Leonites is gonna take a look at the Dragon just yet because they have their eyes on the turret.
Flashed on, Feather Storm goes back away. Defensive play. Leonite Esports will get an inhibitor turret. As now the base is now going to be open. The minions will still push through. Siege minion will be there. 200 HP, 100. And Leonite Esports will take the series away from MIRMOOOO Esports as now